Hi there, Chris here. Well, got a bit of a video for you guys. Steve has asked me to paint an icon onto his warjack's shield. His warjack is a Signar-based warjack, but he wants the Morrow symbol on it, as this is going to be his caster for our upcoming games that we'll be playing. And so this will be his warcaster here. And of course he's got like this little Morrow symbol on his caster, which, you know, it works. Looks good. Nice and gold, the gem, you know. So we're going to create the Morrow symbol from the Iron Kingdoms on this blue portion of the shield. Now, there's really not that much there. I mean, like, you can see my finger here. Like, it's bigger than a Space Marine shoulder pad, so really there should be a lot of room to get it done. But the Morrow symbol, anybody who's familiar with it, it really is not that big, or it's not really, it doesn't really sit well. It's more designed to be sitting on banners and stuff like that, and so I don't know. But we're gonna get started here. Now, we already got the blue base, and because we're working from a dark base color here, we're gonna paint this symbol in a yellow. But first, we're gonna start off with some ceramite white. Now, I'm using ceramite white instead of white scar, just because ceramite white, it just has a lot of pigment to it, and it's a dense paint. Start off the brush, and we're gonna use a little bit of Lebanon medium with it. Let's crack this sucker open. Grab a little bit of medium. Heavy. I'll grab a fairly heavy load on the brush there, and we'll just mix it into some ceramite white, and just making sure I don't get too much paint up into my brush here, but we should be fine. And the Morrow symbol is kind of like a overlapping crescent shape. So I'm going to start with a little circular device within the symbol, and it's really not that big, so be careful when you're initially laying it out. And then now I'm going to lay out the bottom crescent of the symbol, and it should be relatively straightforward, and allow the brush stroke to complete that angle. And yeah, let's go over it once or twice. Let's try and fix up this circular device here. And so now we have the beginnings of our Morrow symbol. You'll hear me rinse my water off lots, because I do rinse my brushes quite a bit, as I really don't like paint adhering too much into my brush. And let's complete the downward spike of it. Oh, oops. It's okay if your hands get a little bit shaky, as long as you can fix what it is you're doing. So I'm trying not to talk too much here while I'm trying to get this done. It's not going to be a particularly long video, and this is really not a how-to video. This is just kind of how I go about it. And this is going to be kind of a no-frills kind of just way of getting it done. It's not going to be clean cut like the typical tutorials that I produce. This is going to be just kind of beginning to end, unedited. I'm not going to edit this, lest anybody comes in here and starts cursing up a storm or something. But otherwise, I'm just completing this crescent shape. Just trying to get it down right. It's also handy too, when you are freehanding symbols and things like that, to have your reference material handy in front of you, but I don't. It's on my computer screen behind me, and yeah, it's not entirely easily accessible. I'm just using the dampness from my brush too. Like, I've already added medium to this, but I'm using the dampness of my brush to keep the paint flowing well. And I'm just going to start this next crescent upwards. I do apologize if I do kind of quiet up at points, but I'm trying to concentrate. I initially was thinking of doing this with an airbrush, not the whole symbol, just the kind of like a glowy kind of background to it all. kind of like there was a glow, because this whole symbol kind of has like this sunrise kind of motif to it, and it's really kind of a pretty little symbol once you look at it. It's really kind of nice. That's kind of crap there on that one side, but we can fix that up in a moment. So I've got to hurry up here because my paint's drying. Okay, so just trying to get this laid out properly. There we go. Try and fix up that outside angle. That's better. Just firm up some of these lines here. And it's not 100% like the symbol, because like I said, the symbol is sitting behind me on my table. Now I'm going to grab some more paint. You can see I switch brushes here when I grab paint. Some of you guys out there who regularly watch my work, I always recommend having a kind of a work brush, kind of a brush that grabs the paint for you and what have you. Grab a little bit more medium. No, it's flowing all right. Yeah, that's all right. All right, quick look at the symbol, and okay, got it. Okay, so the crescent comes all the way around. So really, the crescent should be coming all the way over here, like so. And of course, the important part when you are freehanding designs, like I said, is to keep your reference material in front of you, and you know, so that you're not having to kind of like guess what you're doing. Just keep it in front of you. And I'm talking in circles now. It's uneven. Oh well, screw it. Not my model. No, I'm just kidding. Alright. Let's start with some of the spikes. The sun rays. It's not sharp enough. There we go. Get an angle there. And if you do find it easier, turn your model over, what have you. I'm not a huge fan of handling my models. Let's try and fix this actually while we have the angle. Kind of see how it's balancing. There we go. That's a little better now. It was kind of bugging me. It was uneven anyway. And let's start over here. And thicken it that way. Thicken it this way. Don't fret as well as if you don't have it completely symmetrical. You know, that kind of comes with time as you get used to freehanding designs. And of course, I've already messed this up a little bit. No, it's okay. It's starting to look like the Sauron device. So, does it have a top spike? Yes, of course. And then 4 of the little spikes. So, let's grab a top spike. Use the center of our shield here as our guide, essentially. And just draw the center line and then create the triangle, little spike. And then let's do a little spike here, because we have a tiny one there. We have a tiny one in between here. Basically, it's like a points of a compass. Essentially, is kind of how this symbol looks initially to the eye. You might want to change that up a bit. Maybe make that inside device a little bit. Oops, crap, too much water. Dirty rinse water. Can kind of see the color and change. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but anyway, let's throw a little spike right here, like so, and turn him over. Let's go with a little spike right here, right about there. You can kind of line up, you know, your work like for example how these spikes should line up and those spikes should line up. If you can line it up like that, obviously give it a shot, but otherwise I really wouldn't fret about it. I wouldn't, you know, because at some point, you know, you, like, especially if this is just for a game piece or something like that, which this is, I'm not really gonna kill myself over getting all the angles and everything right. And, you know, mind you though, this top part of the device and this bottom part here, it is a little thick, and I may come in with some blue and take it down a bit. I don't know. But anyway, there we go. So that's the initial outlay of the color, and now we can come in with some let's go with some Uriel yellow, because it's a nice strong yellow color. We may have to lay more than one layering of it down, because I am going to thin it down before we apply it, and you know, that's just the thing you do. Thin the color down. So because again, we don't when you're laying icons on a model, you really don't want the paint to be too thick either, because then it ends up looking like this kind of raised surface, and you really don't want that on your model. It's just going to look a mess. And so we're just going to quickly lay in our base color here, and of course Ash is sneaking by, trying to be quiet as possible. Right, Ash? Boo! Okay, and so we will just work our color downwards. Now, we could have done an outline on this, but because, you know, this is just, you know, it's just a gaming piece, and, you know, we're not looking to win any kind of awards or anything like that. We don't have to worry too much about things like that. We just want to get it done, get this guy on the tabletop. And of course, this is not my model anyway, so why do I care? Sounds kind of mean. Poor old Steve. Ripping on him, and he's not even in the room to defend himself. That's okay. And so, let's, oops, too much yellow there. Ended up hitting some of the blue. And I think to correct up some of this, I am going to come back in with this base blue he's used. I don't know what blue he's used. It looks a bit like, crap, I don't even know what it is. If he's used the P3, then it's got to be Signar blue, right? But I don't know. So, quickly, there's the yellow. It's pretty solid in most places, just a few spots here. It's not entirely solid. So I'll just kind of quickly come in. It's better to wait for the layer to dry before trying to come back in with the color again. So don't do what I'm doing right now, because I'm being impatient. But there we go. Yeah, I gotta create a little bit more separation in there in that little circular part of the device. So there's that. There's the yellow. I'm gonna pause a moment, because I need to know what blue it is that he used on this model. So, be right back.
I don't know if you can even see the base, though.
What?
I don't know if you can even see the base.
The base color? Yeah.
Like right in the very...
Yeah, that's Cantor blue, right?
Yeah, very...
Steve's in the room now while I'm trying to work this out. But yeah, I just need to clean up the
wow, that
clean
looks
it up a
really
bit.
Good.
Well, I gotta clean it up a little bit, but yeah.
Oh, you can't clean it up with Cantor.
Yeah, I can. Well, what's the mid-tone color then?
Yeah, there's three colors there. The mid one would be Keldor Sky.
That's Keldor Sky?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
There's three colors of blue there.
All right. Well, we're gonna use Keldor Sky then. We're not gonna use Cantor blue. Jeez. There we go. It's not even my model here. Got me fretting over it. So Keldor Sky apparently is the blue he used. And it's a nice mid-tone blue. We're just going to use a little bit here. We are going to use a little bit of medium to thin this down, because we are going to use our detail brush to help fine out some of the lines. Grab a little bit of our medium. Actually grabbed a fairly heavy load on the brush. It's okay though. And we'll just mix it into our entire little pile of paint. Our blobby. And Yeah, there we go. And let's just start cleaning up some of these edges here. Especially where you see the yellow and the blue mixing, where they're going to obviously make green. We want to clean that up. And yeah, we wanted to fix up that central area where the circle is. And there we go. There, see? And we want to fix it up on the inside of the ring here, because I was concerned about how thick the line was looking. And so as long as you know what colors you were using, you can always come back and clean it up. Like so. Okay. Not too bad, eh? And then I gotta fix this little top part here where I messed it up. And so even a guy like me, who's been painting for ages, can still make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. We can try to be, but I almost made a mistake there, just talking about it. Okay. And then fix that. There we go. And then just quick look at my reference material. And yeah, I really should thin this down a bit. Just a little bit. So we are going to come in really close, like so. And then bring it down. Come in real close. And then bring it down. Like so. It's a little bit better. Oh, I came in, I hit that top part there too much. There we go. So you can still see some spots here where I'm not getting it quite close enough. And so it just requires a little bit more care. And keep hitting this area. I'm going to end up messing it up more. Screw it. I'm done. I'm done messing with it. I'm going to end up just making it worse. And I really don't want to spend that much time on it. But here is an extra bonus treat for you all, whoever has been watching me do this. I am going to create a transition on this piece. Now, to create the transition, where the hell is my color? No, that's not the one I want. There it is. Okay. So to create a small little transition on some of this, we are going to use a little bit of Fugen Orange. I'm going to use a little bit of this. We're not going to require too much. We are going to use our little detail brush, and we are simply going to lay, starting at, I don't know, we'll pick a point about halfway, and then lay it down, and let the color build. And then we'll start about here, and then we'll let it build, and then start about here, and let the color build. Like that. Kind of see what's going on there now? I hope so, because I'm not going to explain this again. Better been paying attention. I'm just kidding. I'll explain it again. No, I won't. And let's build a little bit more color there. And I think that is pretty much it. Gets a little bit of transition going on there. The orange plays with the blue really nicely because the complementary colors becomes very eye-catching. But that's about it. That's it. That's freehanding the Morrow icon on a shield. You know, I let the video play for as long as it is, so you can see how long it took. Had it run real time for all of you, so hopefully that kind of helps some of you. And if it doesn't, well, too bad. And I'll see you guys in the next video.